Warren, you've picked a squad of 32 players, slightly smaller than usual, but there's an experienced look about it. You're obviously comfortable with the group of players you've got.
Yeah, it is pretty experienced. We've kept it pretty tight at this stage, but there's a possibility that we may add one or two other players. There's a few players with injuries. We've picked a few senior players in the squad that are carrying a couple of niggles at the moment, and there's a few younger players that need a little bit of rugby, and so perhaps after the first 2 or 3 rounds and with a few games under the belt, and if we pick up a couple of injuries, we may add 1 or 2 more to the squad.
So the door isn't closed for younger players, uncapped players to come into the squad?
Oh no, absolutely not, and that's why at the moment there's a few players that are on the radar, but they haven't had a lot of rugby. The 1 or 2 of them have got a couple of injuries, and so they're not far away from playing, and perhaps they need 1 or 2 games before they might be added to the squad.
I suppose there'll be some speculation about players like John Davis, for example, who is carrying a long-term injury.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons that we've picked Jonathan. We don't think he's too far away. Ryan Jones is carrying a bit of a knock. Sam Warburton hasn't played a lot. So those 3 or 4 experienced players that are in the squad at the moment that are carrying sort of injuries, hopefully they're not going to be too far away. But part of that reason of not picking other players that have had injuries is that it just takes a little bit of pressure off the medical team as well, that not having to have too many bodies on the sort of physio bed and trying to get them right. So we feel hopefully fairly confident. Talking to Rob Howley, he said the first week that he had the squad together last year, the first training session he had 19 who were able to train because that's how many in the squad had injuries. So we were conscious of that for this season.
Any reason why you've only picked 32 and not more?
I think we've always tried to keep it reasonably tight. We're going to have, as we did last year, and it was very successful, have the under-20s come in on a Tuesday and train with us in the morning and the afternoon. They got a huge amount of benefit from that, finishing second in the Six Nations, then obviously making the final of the under-20s World Cup, and it was a benefit for our players as well. So, we're going to have plenty of bodies, and it's a good chance for those young players coming in and training with the senior squad to show their mettle, show their wares, so to speak, and to make an impression as well.
You've got 3 of the 5 matches at home, so it's slightly advantage Wales, and you must be aware, of course, of the pressures of winning a possible championship 3 times on the bounce, which will be unique.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that we'll focus on. I mean, we've got an opportunity to create history, and having won the last 2 years, there's a chance, and particularly with those 3 home games. I mean, the two away are particularly tough in terms of England at Twickenham and Ireland as well. But those are the 2. If you look at 2008 and 2012, those are the years that we won the Grand Slam, sort of playing with the 3 blue teams at home and England and Ireland away. So, there's no fear for us. It's a tough competition to win. You need a little bit of luck. You need a bit of momentum, and so. Getting Italy first up, hopefully it's not a banana skin for us, because again, talking to the coaches involved last year, they felt they were a little bit slow in starting out of the block. So hopefully we can get off to a good start against Italy and get some momentum.
3 full houses starting with Italy would be a great start.
Well, I think Scotland sold out that last game. France has a couple of single tickets left, and Italy's not too far from being sold out as well. So. There's nothing better than playing in a Millennium Stadium when it's full, and those Welsh fans get behind us, and the singing goes, and maybe with a bit of luck we might be able to get the roof closed. I'm not sure if Italy are going to agree to that, but we'll just have to wait and see. And if we can get a full house for those 3 games, it'll be just absolutely brilliant.
It hasn't been the easiest time for Welsh rugby. Even the European competitions haven't gone well for Welsh teams, but we're used to that. We come into Six Nations and we invariably play well, so you're expecting the same again?
No, I think one of the things that we've tried to create is an environment where the players really look forward to coming into the national team. We're blessed with the facilities that we have. We think they're the best in the world. I think we've got the best stadium in the world. So in terms of, there's no lack of motivation for the players when they come into the squad, and we've been lucky enough to be able to motivate that group of players to want to wear that jersey. It's so important when they put that jersey on, the responsibility they have to putting that Welsh jersey on and wanting to perform, and there's an extra motivation this year to create some history, to do something special. If we're able to do that, it's going to be tough, but it's a great motivational factor to come in. And obviously, there's a lot of politics going on at the moment. We need to put that to one side. We need to come together as a group and sort of put those the pressures of the things that we can't control ourselves out of our minds and just focus on the rugby.
You excited by it?
Oh, absolutely. It was a fantastic year last year in terms of looking from the sort of sidelines, so to speak, and watching the team. And I got a massive buzz, particularly sitting in the stand and watching that last game against England. So to be back involved and after the Lions and the players performing well, really excited about it. I mean, the big challenge for us is going to be, I think, if you look back at the last 4 or 5, maybe even further back Lions tours, the team that's won the Six Nations or the Grand Slam after a Lions tour has been France, because probably the impact of a Lions tour and how tough that is on the players, and for them not being able to recover sufficiently in terms of having long seasons. So that's going to be tough for us, and we're aware of that history as well, and so getting off to a good start against Italy is paramount.